I'm fired up. Today, as of today, I think I have 14,500 subscribers. That's a little mind-blowing for me. Everyone that's new here, welcome to Woodness Goodness. My name's Graham. We are currently building a cabin. Now, if you're wondering, the cabin is on my property. I live on this property, and the cabin is tucked in the woods behind me, and it's in its little own paradise, just facing the trees. The birds are chirping all around it. It's absolutely gorgeous. My property, where I am, is a regular house on acreage, and I have a workshop right here. So we are going to take power from the separate panel that is in my workshop. There's a lot of power in my workshop, and I'm not using even a fraction of it. One of my subscribers, and now a friend, Chris from New York, is an electrician by trade, and he's walking with me digitally through this whole scenario so I don't kill myself or embarrass myself. Well, embarrassing myself will happen inevitably. Anyhow, we have to trench all the way to my cabin, which is going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because there's going to be trees, roots, and all kinds of stuff. Either way, it's a beautiful day. It's not too hot out yet, so let's get after it. Okay, this is day 4 of digging this ditch, because I like to take my time when I do something that's painfully exhausting like this. I just think it's really good for the soul. No, this is just taking forever because it's a freaking 100+ foot ditch that has to be around 18 inches in depth per code for my conduit and electric to go in it. And I've thrown my neck out a couple times, well, basically once, but put me on my butt for a couple days, swinging that pickaxe, because I guess apparently as soon as you turn 30, arthritis kicks in. We are almost to the cabin, at which point we will run the conduit, run the line of power. I'm gonna snake it through my shop to the panel, and then we can start putting the power together in the cabin. This is the slowest portion of the cabin build I think I've done thus far, in terms of it's just slow going. But I shall not give up. I shall not surrender. With all these new subscribers, thank you. Hello, I'm Graham. Nice to meet you. Glad you're here. Oh, we have made it. It's now time to lay pipe. I feel like I've gone on a journey.
A journey that has taken me to the unknown. I wasn't prepared for what it might do to me mentally, physically, and spiritually.
But digging this trench was absolutely, it was hard. Okay, it took me multiple days. I like doing stuff that happens a little bit more quicker. Probably why I've made a lot of mistakes, because I just like to go hard in the paint. But I mean, that's just part of my personality. And although there's a lot of pros to being like that, there are a few cons, and just sending it without planning is one of them. But we have dug a trench all the way to my cabin, got my conduit, Gonna run conduit all the way up to my rafters. It's gonna be buried 18 inches depth, which is code, all the way to the cabin. I will then run it up and run it into a sub panel where I will have a 20 amp breaker that will run my mini split HVAC when and if I eventually install it. Hopefully that will be the next step because it's starting to get real hot in Virginia. Then I will also have two 15 amp breakers, one for plugs, one for lights. If you're wondering, Graham, are you sure you can do this? And yes, I am, because I have the godfather of electric, Chris. He's a New Yorker, he's a subscriber and a friend, and he's an electrician in the Big Apple. So he knows what he's talking about, and he has walked me through this step by step, and before I connect anything and electrocute myself on camera, I will be sure to get his final approval. So without further ado, let's start getting ready to lay some wire and pipe. Ding, ding, ding. Add another length of pipe, so I'm gonna go all the way up there and weave it down. I think that's the best plan. I'm either a genius or a total idiot. Either way, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. Honestly, this is really easy because this cable is actually pretty heavy duty. So to manually pull it through all the PVC after it was already laid would be a lot harder. So I'm glad I'm doing this. Even if you're somebody who says you're an idiot, you could have done so much better. Well, you know what? It's just me here, and I feel pretty freaking smart right now. One thing I didn't totally take into consideration was the fact that I might get a little bit of this cement or primer on my rope and or wiring. But I'm gonna be nice and easy, very gentle and careful, and I think we'll come out on top. Obviously, I'm a semi-amateur, so don't listen to everything I say or even anything I say. A.M. getting after it, seeing if I can finish this and then make an episode and release it in the same day. Can he do it? Probably not. So I ran my wire from my cabin through the conduit, and it's come up the side of my shop and through the trusses all the way to the corner where my panel is. Now I'm going to drill a hole in the two top plates of the wall here. That way the wire can come through nice and protected. And then it's pretty much good to go on this end, and then I have to wire up the cabin, and I'll probably wire up at least one plug to do a test to make sure I indeed have power. much hooked up to power. But before this episode can end, we have to triumph. We have to win, i.e. make sure that we in fact do have power. So we're gonna wire up one plug and see if we're good. Okay, people! So I went to my basement, I turned on the shop breaker, which is 100 amps. Then I just came from the shop, I turned on the new 40 amp breaker we just installed. And now, for the first time, I'm really hoping it works. I'm gonna turn on the one breaker that I've connected to this one outlet, which will be my 15 amp breaker for all my outlets. Professional once said, look away and close your eyes. So far so good. Plugged in a Sawzall to the plug. Let's hope it works. Yeah, baby! Woo! Power, baby! Well, that does it for this episode. We had just hooked up the cabin to power, which means we can now put the outlets in, figure out what we're doing for lighting, figure out what we're doing for a mini split HVAC system. This took a long time, but we did it. Remember, folks, when you're running down that hill to the battle, the great battle that you might be having in your life, may it be a Lord of the Rings where all those horses are coming down from the mountain and you're on one of those horses. You know what you have to do, and you trip and you fall and you hurt yourself and your horse is gone. What do? You get back up, you get on someone else's horse, and you get back into battle. Because if you never battle, you will never win a battle. And that is my encouragement for you guys today. If you're not willing to go to battle, well, my friends, you will never come away from winning a battle. As always, guys, thanks so much for hanging out and watching. I hope you guys liked it. If you do like these videos, please like and subscribe. Helps me out and it encourages me to keep on going. All right, guys, love to all of you. Be safe and kind to one another. Peace.